Namaskar students, this is Professor S. Lal, Professor of Mathematics and Computing in the Department of Science and Technology under the Faculty of Education and Methodology of Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Students, today we are going to discuss such a topic that is supposed to be more and more important for your career. And as per your session, the name of the topic is Euler's and Picard's method. Please write the name of the topic Euler, E capital E U L E R apostrophe S. Euler. What you have to write? You have to write Euler's and Picard. P-I-C-A-R-D apostrophe S. Euler and Picard's method. This is supposed as most famous method. These two names are differently representing two methods. Euler's method is different and Picard's method is different, and both are important part of numerical analysis or numerical computation. So come on the point. Here we have, here on your screen, here is Picard's theorem. Picard's theorem is the Picard's method. Again, we are going to see that how ordinary differential equation is going to be used in your numerical analysis, in your numerical computation. Ordinary differential equations frequently occur as mathematical model. Just in the previous class, I have already discussed that ordinary differential equation frequently occur as mathematical models in many branches of science, engineering, and economics. Unfortunately, it is seldom that these equations have solutions that can be expressed in closed form. So it is common to seek approximate solutions by means of numerical methods. Nowadays, this can usually be achieved very inexpensively to high accuracy and with a reliable bound on the error between the analytical solution and its numerical approximation. So let us take a first order differential equation of the form y dash is equal to fx y. Y dash means dy by dx means first derivative. This is equal to fxy, means to understand the Picard's theorem, we are going to take here a first derivative y dash is equal to fxy. Our story starts from here. What just I told you, that was the, you can say, introduction. That was the sound from the back. That was not the actual music. The actual music of your song starts from here. Means to explain the Picard's theorem, you need to take a function as first derivative y dash is equal to fxy. This is equation 1. For the real valued function y of the real variable x, real valued function y of the real variable x, where y dash I have already told you is equal to dy by dx. In order to select a particular integral from the indefinite family of solution curves that constitute the general solution of one, you know that if you have a linear or if you have a linear differential equation as dy by dx is equal to py is equal to q, then to get solution of this equation, firstly you find integrating factor. Then after integrating factor, you find the solution of the equation, and in some other differential equation, the complete solution is obtained with the help of obtaining the complementary function and the particular integral. So the equation will be considered as in tandem with an initial condition. Initial condition is what? Given two real numbers x naught and y naught, we seek solution of one. We are taking y that is at the point what x naught is equal to y naught. This is at equation 2. Then the differential equation 1 together with the initial condition 2 is called initial value problem. Initially, you have taken the initial point x naught here in equation 2. So the differential equation 1 together with the initial condition 2 means differential equation 1 together with the initial condition 2 is called initial value problem. In general, if you are taking f is a continuous function, there is no guarantee that the initial value problem has existed in 1 and 2 possesses a unique solution. Fortunately, under a certain mild condition on the function f, the existence and uniqueness of solution to 1, 2 means this equation 1 and this equation 2 can be ensured. That is, the result is encapsulated in the next theorem. So let us see the Picard's theorem. What is Picard's theorem? You have to try to write several times this statement from here to here. You should write this Lipschitz constant of f. You should write these conditions. So suppose that f is a continuous function of its argument in region capital U of the xy plane, which contains the rectangle R is equal to xy such that x lies between x naught to xm. Maximum value of capital X and the difference of modulus value of y minus y naught. Y minus y naught is less than or equal to ym. Close it under second bracket, where xm is greater than x naught and ym is greater than 0 are constant. Again, you take this equation 3 as the difference of the two functions on the different points and the relate with the inequalities as L of y minus j modulus hold whenever x, y and xz lie in the rectangle R. Finally, letting m is equal to this, then suppose that m of this is less than or equal to ym. Then there exists a unique continuously differentiable function x is tending to yx defined on the closed interval x naught xm which satisfy condition 1 and 2. Then the condition 3 is called Lipschitz condition and L is called Lipschitz constant of F. So students, that was, I hope that was the Picard's theorem. This was Picard's theorem first. Here is also Picard's theorem on the same basis. So students, I request you that you kindly note down all these things and you should try to bring these things in your practice, because in the case of theoretical problem, it is not possible to derive in a one time strike. It needs some practices. So I advise you that you should exercise on this. And the topic we are discussing is Euler's and Picard's method. So you can find Euler's method also and its relatives. For your kind information, this session is powered by digital version 2.0 of Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. In case of any query, feel free to write your comment in the inbox. From there, I will try to resolve your query. Thank you for enjoying this lecture.